Good morning. Welcome to the November 12th regular session of the Board of Supervisors meeting. Roll call, please.
Grant.
Here.
Schwartz.
Here.
Leyland.
Here.
Kurttenbach.
Here.
Hall.
Here. Please join in a moment of silence to reflect on this morning's actions. Please stand if you're able to join for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Item 1, agenda received as proposed or as amended.
So moved. Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Item 2, this is public comments. This is time reserved in the meeting for anyone to speak on an issue that is not on this morning's agenda, either in the room or online.
Stand here.
Yeah, there we go. Thank you.
Hi, good morning. My name is Julie Glade. My address is 2305 Brown Street in Cedar Falls. And I'm here this morning to thank you for supporting ISAC's amicus brief in the Couser versus Shelby County case. I think the more counties that join in this cause, the stronger our case is to protect local control and zoning ordinances. I live in Cedar Falls but own land in Wright County, and that is in the path of Summit Carbon Solutions pipeline. So I've been fighting this fight for 4 years with my husband. It's kind of taken our retirement away from us, and we just kind of I just want to share just briefly that our family farm is in the path of Summit's pipeline. Our son and his wife and our two granddaughters live within 600 feet of this pipeline. Plume studies show that puts them in the death zone. If a rupture would occur close to their farm, they would have 4 to 5 minutes to get to safety, relative safety inside a home. If a rupture would happen, a lot depends on atmospheric conditions and such, but the time would be very brief. I've watched a video of a test rupture of one of these pipelines, and it's catastrophic. It's deadly. CO2 is an asphyxiant. It displaces oxygen, and people will suffocate. Emergency vehicles cannot drive into the cloud to get people to safety because the engines will die. So I'm just urging you to consider passing in Black Hawk County, passing zoning ordinances that would protect Black Hawk County citizens. These pipelines should be kept away from cities, towns, nursing homes, schools. And right now there's no setback limits at all. This pipeline goes much closer to some towns than to our farm. It's dangerous. People are going to die if this goes through. And I don't think these pipelines are going away. There's too much money involved. There's huge tax incentives. So there's a lot of incentives for them to keep pushing these kinds of things. So just ask that you would consider that. Thank you.
Thank you. If anyone else, either in the room or online? We'll move to item 3, claims and payments. This is a resolution of the Board of Supervisors approve expenditure that the county auditor be authorized and directed to issue payments against the various settlements of such claims as allowed.
So moved.
Second.
Good morning, Board. Our total bill payment today is $624,447.24. Out of that, the 60/40 fund is $3,162.20. Note, I just have a couple of larger payments today. We're making a payment to Young Plumbing and Heating for the jail HVAC project, $89,715.34. And also Conservation is beginning work on their park sign project, and the amount being paid for that is $50,255.34 to Nagel Signs. Everything else appears to be in order. Any questions today?
All right. resolution. Roll call, please.
Schwartz,
Yes.
Leyland,
Yes.
Kurttenbach,
Yes.
Grant,
Yes.
Paul.
Yes. Item 4, receive project updates from department heads and elected officials.
Good morning, Board. Kathy Nicholas, engineer. Boulder Contracting, they are a local bridge contractor, subcontractor. They have come in and they've closed Donald Street to do those repairs that I was telling you about several weeks ago in our change order. They are doing some repairs to the bridge on Donald Street, and this would be just west of Raymond Road over, I believe it's Miller Creek. They will be doing those repairs, and that will probably be closed for about 2 weeks. And then they've also moved in on Tama Road, and they are repairing a bridge where I've showed you pictures of the corrosion on the underside of the drip edge of our bridge. They are starting those repairs this week, so Tama Road is closed as well for probably several weeks. And then lastly, our roadside biologist is following closely behind our ditch cleanouts to get those seeded before winter sets in. We'll be finishing our ditch cleanouts here in probably another week. Can I answer any other questions about the roads?
Rose, I just want to say congratulations on the effort on the election for our loss.
Yes, thank you. We will work hard to take a look at our facilities now. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good morning.
Morning.
I'm Rosemary, HR Director. So just a couple updates on wellness and that initiative, where we're going with that so far. So the survey closed at the end of October. We had 161 responses. The last time it came to you, we had about 130. So we felt that was a really good representation. We had responses from almost all departments. We held our first focus group on, and again, this is the wellness incentive program for employees that we're entertaining to propose to the board coming like this budget cycle. But we had our first focus group with the sheriff's office. As I talked last time, we're going to meet with them every Wednesday of this month, well, the first 3 Wednesdays of the month, to engage that group, as they aren't often able to attend most of our other focus groups just due to their 24/7 schedules. So with the results, I do want to make time on your guys' agenda, an upcoming one, to talk about those survey results and eventually the focus group responses. Just curious if you want those together or if you want them separate. But to give you kind of an idea of where the survey results went, generally people said that the top wellness activities they support are physical health, mental health, financial well-being are the top 3. When it came to the actual reward system, paid time off ranked the highest, followed by health insurance premium reduction, and then gym discount or reimbursement. So then the focus groups, kind of like what we did with strategic planning, we're trying to encourage more dialogue, more brainstorming around what those activities look like and kind of prioritize based on those results. As much as we'd like to do everything all at once in wellness, we kind of want to start with what people are telling us initially and kind of build from there. So those are that's just some of the information from the survey. And then we'll be able to provide additional information from focus groups. So we have 2 more with the sheriff's office, and then we'll have at least 1, if not 2, with other departments from those that completed the survey, that said they were interested, or even if you didn't complete the survey but want to participate in focus group, we'll open it to everyone as well. Okay. The other thing about wellness so far is WellBeats. If you recall, we signed an agreement with Walmart to have the WellBeats platform available to employees January 1st, 2026. So you will start seeing materials come out about that, encouraging people to sign up and how to register. It is completely free to them. It includes 1,200 fitness courses, mindfulness courses, nutrition courses. It's got classes such as yoga, strength training, HIIT, running, walking, healthy recipes, cooking education. It has goal-based programs. It has different things that can be personalized to your needs. So that will be coming out in the next week or so, and it will start effective January 1st. And that's open to everyone, whether you have our insurance or not. So there will be some details about that. If you don't take our insurance, you can still sign up for it and have access to that free, paid for by the board, or the health insurance board, sorry, health insurance fund, authorized by the board. There you go. Okay. Any questions on kind of where we're at with this, or thoughts, concerns, or?
Amanda, are these pretty much just responses, or are they gonna be recommendations?
What do you mean?
What from the survey? When you come to us with the information.
Well, it's helped to guide some kind of recommendation. It's helped to guide, when we go to an RFP, to have a third party administer, if the board is still interested in wanting to do a wellness incentive program, which is basically rewarding wellness, behaviors. And again, totally voluntary, this is not required, but it will kind of help give some guidance to when we ask for bids for a third party to administer this, how they can kind of craft that wellness incentive, how their platform will align with some of the needs or interests we're seeing. So I would say it's kind of both. We are asking for people's responses, and it will help form recommendations. But, like I told the focus group, we had them prioritize with the dots, like you did with strategic planning, and we kind of said, okay, so what's the most important? Because all of these 8 dimensions of well-being are important, but we can't quite do everything all at once. Or we may need to kind of start here and then grow this. And so that kind of helped formulate where we want to start. Other questions or thoughts on, I mean to throw a lot at you, but I just want to give you an update as to where the direction that's going. So.
You said that'll be coming via email?
The well beats will be coming, via email. We'll push out like a flyer and say, which fortunately with going with, Wellmark, we have about 50% of those that are on the health insurance already have a Wellmark registration where you can access your insurance cards, your explanation of benefits, plan design. So it would just be that's what you need in order to access well beats. So we're going to kind of push to 100%, but that will be coming out. So survey-wise and focus group, do you want that all in one? Do you have a preference? I mean, I can certainly, give the survey results. I can send those to you via email. I have been going over those in the focus groups, so I can at least send those out to you now, the presentation that kind of guided our focus group, so you can see those, but, otherwise we'll just...
You mean when you say all in one, like in an email or like a presentation?
It will eventually be a presentation to the board, but I wasn't sure if you were really eager to see the initial, responses. If you want a presentation here, I can go through the survey, or I can just email those responses out to you all.
Send it to us.
Yeah. Okay.
Just email us the survey responses.
Perfect. All right. Thank you very much. Anything else, guys? All right. Thank you.
Any other department?
Just wanted to give an election update, because last week was pretty crazy for us. So the election was last Tuesday, and overall went really well, with the exception of our phones going down at 1:15 on election day, which is obviously very problematic for us. Public can't get a hold of us, nor can our precinct workers, so I just want to give kudos to staff for thinking quick on their feet, and we created a Google phone number that we got out to the public, and for us, we can't wait till the next day, because that's just not useful. So anyway, just want to give a shout out to staff for staying calm and having a plan B, and being able to get something out there where people can still get a hold of us. So we had 2 different lines, one designated to our precinct workers so that they could get a hold of us, and then we created a second line just for the public that was rolling over to our cell phones. So that worked well. My goal was to not get any calls on Wednesday saying that they didn't know where to go vote and therefore couldn't vote. So we didn't get any of those calls on Wednesday. So that worked really well. If you haven't heard, we have 3 races going to runoff election. We have 1 in Cedar Falls for Ward 3 Council, the mayor's race, of course, in Waterloo, and then Ward 1 Council seat going to runoff. So last week, for us, we're not done on election night. We have a lot of post-election work to do. So again, just kudos to staff for getting what they needed to wrap up from the election and preparing for this next one. Today was the first day that ballots could be available, and staff worked diligently to be able to meet that deadline. So ballots are available for the runoff election. And then, so that election will be December 2nd. The deadline, if anybody wanted to have a ballot mailed to them, that deadline is 5 o'clock on Monday. So it's always a quick turnaround time, but we'll have voting here at the courthouse through Monday, December 1st.
So voting's available starting today.
Yep, we've already had people come to vote. So if you look down the hall, we got those voting booths back up and we're off to the races on this next election. I also just want to give a thank you to Nate. We have a little bit of an issue on election night, but I appreciate your help on that and having some just extra bodies on election night. So thank you. You just never know how they're going to play out. So that is where we're at.
The precinct workers, a couple I talked to said they love the tablet system.
Thank you. Yes, I should have probably mentioned that as well. Thanks, Justin. Yeah, so again, thank you to you guys for approving that new electronic poll book program. Hands down, it really was a game changer. I think I mentioned to all of you guys that before Election Day, it would truly take no less than 40 hours to prepare all those laptops. And we were able to get that done in less than 10. So, and then just from precinct workers, it's less equipment, less cords, much easier to navigate. So overall, the response was really positive. So yeah, thank you for bringing that up.
I see Rory.
Yes.
Rory, could you just maybe speak to what is going on with our phone systems? It's happened a couple times.
Yeah, the last couple of times the fiber had been cut in the surrounding area, so it was a widespread outage, and this one unfortunately happened on election day. So yeah, we worked very closely with Windstream on it, but we don't know the particulars if it was a contractor that cut the line, but it was a cut fiber line.
Thank you.
Who's our phone provider?
Windstream.
Well, okay. They,
Yep.
Okay. Thank you.
Can I ask Al a question on that? So when we move to the new phone system, like that won't be an issue moving forward, right?
No. The new phone system is internet-based, so the fiber that was cut was Windstream's fiber. We use CFU for our internet provider, so they would have to cut CFU's fiber for us to go down. So when we switch over to the new phone system, it will rely solely through the internet, and as long as CFU stays up, we stay up. So, I cannot wait for it to happen. So we are slowly, I'll just give a quick update. We have a few departments added now on the new phone system. So IT started first. We added EMA, they just have 2 phones. We recently added juvenile courts, and Department of Reserve is on the new phone system. Next week, we have a big migration that is Pinecrest. So that'll include VA, public health, and HHS. So that will be tentatively, actually no, Thursday at 2. So they will have an outage with their phone system while we get it migrated over. But very excited for that, but that is 140-ish phones. So we'll have lots of bodies to get that task done. But, yeah.
You have a backup internet provider too, right?
At the moment, we do not, but we talked to the supervisor Mark about that, so that's something we definitely want to have. And so, yes, that's definitely in
We did at one point though, didn't we?
Not since I've been here.
Okay.
No. So there's been talks about who could be it, but yeah, I'm open to any vendor that would be a good backup for us.
Well, I think it should be wireless fiber, but to support the
Yeah, absolutely. That's
good effort in the city.
Any other questions for me regarding phones?
Thank you. Thanks, Al. Any department heads or electeds online? Seeing none, we'll move to item 5, minutes approval for the regular session November 4th and joint session November 5th.
so moved. Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Item 6, consent agenda. The items listed below will be acted upon with a single resolution without separate discussion, unless someone from the board or the public requests that a specific item be considered separately.
So,
Second.
Roll call, please.
Leyland,
yes.
Kurttenbach,
Yes.
Grant,
Yes.
Schwartz,
Yes.
Paul.
Yes. Item 7, resolution to approve the federal aid agreement between Blackhawk County and the Iowa Department of Transportation. IDOT agreement number 2-25-STP-S-042 for surface transportation block grant project STP-S-C007 5E-07 HMA paving of East Washburn Road from Highway 218 east to the city limits of Gilbertville be approved and directed chair to sign for same as recommended by Catherine Nicholas, county engineer.
So moved.
Second.
Board, this block grant does come to us through the Regional Transportation Authority. We received the grant about a year ago. It will be for $1.329 million, and the total cost of that project is approximately $1.8 million for this resurfacing of Washburn Road. We will make up the remainder of that, of the funds to our farm and market account. And the agreement just says that we will follow all federal aid, State Department of Transportation rules when we design the project and when we let the project and when we administer the construction of the project. So I would recommend that you approve it and we be allowed to move forward with the project.
We've got a motion and a second. Roll call, please.
Kurttenbach,
Yes.
Grant,
Yes.
Schwartz,
Yes.
Leyland,
Yes.
Paul.
Yes. Thank you. Item 8A, resolution of Blackhawk County collect a total of $6,228 from Carter Rail, 89.6% of the $6,920 that Blackhawk County paid for Iowa Law Enforcement Academy training per the employment agreement between Blackhawk County and Carter.
So moved.
Second.
Yeah, these ones that hate to bring to you, I'd rather keep the employee than take their money back, but Carter's a great young man, we had high hopes for him, but unfortunately his girlfriend got a job teaching in Cedar Rapids and her family's there, and now his family is actually moving down to the Iowa City area, so he got the opportunity to get on with Robbins PD down there and decided it was best for the family life, so unfortunately he was our next one out for patrol, probably would have been on the road within 3 months here, and he knew that, so he wasn't anything about the work, it was just about the location.
As a resolution, roll call, please.
Kurttenbach,
Yes.
Leyland,
Yes.
Schwartz,
Yes.
Grant,
Yes.
Paul.
Yes. Item 8B, motion that the personnel requisition for the office specialist position, full-time replacement, in the treasurer's office be approved as recommended by Linda Hinsman, county treasurer.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Item 8C, resolution that the suspension requested by Diana Ollinger on taxes owed for 2025-26 installment in the amount of $1,930 for parcel 8913-204-005 located 1234 Eleanor Drive, Waterloo, be approved pursuant to subsection 427.8 of the Code of Iowa for the county treasurer to be authorized and directed to adjust her records accordingly.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Question, Lynn, do we get many of these requests in a year?
Good morning, Board. Linda Hinsman, Treasurer. I think we usually get on average right now between 4 and 5. We have a few that will fill out the paperwork right up front, and then we have a few stragglers that kind of work their way in. I know I've just sent out paperwork to another individual that had not filled out their paperwork, so I'm sure that'll be coming up too, but usually about 4 or 5.
Okay. We've had some people at the town hall meetings ask about some of this, and I didn't know this would fall into that. So I'm going to circle back to some of the folks, so it's kind of caught me
They
by
have to be
surprise.
very, very low income, and they have to fill out very detailed paperwork to qualify. And basically, their taxes are still accruing, they're never considered delinquent, or there's no interest or anything on those taxes. And then what happens is, once they qualify, if they stay on the program, if they sell the home, the next pay period or collection of taxes, they have to pay all of that back, or the interest will hit. Or if they pass away, then the family also has to make sure that they pay that back within a timeline.
So it's not forgiving the whole thing, it's
It
just.
is not. It is not. It is only freezing the taxes. So every year, they're still accruing tax. And the ones that qualify for the suspension also have filled out the paperwork for low income. So they're usually already getting some type of reduction on their taxes. And then the remaining balance just gets frozen at that point. So it's still there. It's still gonna keep accumulating. It's just, we don't ever consider them delinquent or late, and they never get offered at a tax sale.
So these dollars come back at the end of the sale or something off of that?
Correct.
Okay,
Correct. Minus the interest, unless they go past that timeline, then all of that interest accumulates.
okay. Thank you for the input.
What's the threshold? I know you said it's very low income. Is it indexed to something? Is it?
26,000.
Okay. And it's just that dollar amount. It's not necessarily indexed to.
Yeah, they kind of come all over the board for what their incomes are.
Thank you. All right, this is a resolution, roll call please.
Whalen?
Yes.
Schwartz?
Yes.
Grant?
Yes.
Birkenhoff?
Yes,
Paul?
Yes. Item 8D, resolution that the taxes on submitted properties which have come into public ownership through community development efforts, public infrastructure improvements, public purpose acquisition be abated, and to instruct the county treasurer to adjust her records accordingly pursuant to subsection 427.2 and subsection 445.63 of the Code of Iowa in the total amount of $179,760.48.
I'd like to make a motion exempting one item on here, property 891423104147.
You can expand on that at all?
This is a private property that is over by UNI, and UNI purchased the property. I basically just like him to come in and give us a little explanation on it. When we see these, I went through each one of them, and a lot of them are roads, so it doesn't make, I mean, it's some sidewalks, some are developments for the cities, all make sense. But the UNI Regent's purchase of the large apartment building just doesn't feel right. And I just thought it might be worthwhile having them come in and explain a little bit to us on that. It's $128,538.72 property tax that none of the entities will receive.
Well, you probably sent an email about this, so I apologize for dropping the ball. Could you just offer a little bit of background so I can understand a little bit more what's happening here? Are you able? Anybody? Anybody willing and able?
I'll weigh in on this. Our office and the assessor's office assists the treasurer's office when these requests for abatement come in, just to review them and see the situation. So, federal property pays no property taxes. State property, with very few exceptions, pays no property taxes. Local governments like Blackhawk County, we don't pay taxes on this building, pay no property taxes. Property taxes accrue the year before we bill them. So in the case of the UNI situation, you had a private apartment complex, high-value apartment complex. University of Northern Iowa bought it in January. So at the time they purchased that, they collected the taxes from the previous owner for the months of June through half of January. And they collected those taxes for the period it was taxable and paid those to the treasurer's office. What remains on that bill are the taxes that accrued from the period UNI purchased it until the end of that fiscal year. It's also exempt for next year, so they won't even get a tax bill next year. But they did pay the amount of taxes that accrued during the time that Tailwinds LLC owned it. I will also let you know, you could turn this down, but the state of Iowa is under no obligation to pay these taxes. So if we leave them sitting out there, they're gonna sit out there as delinquent unpaid taxes. We're not allowed to send them to tax sale or anything, so it would just kind of mess up the treasurer's books. I mean, so, yeah, it's unfortunate that we're losing a lot of taxable value. I don't know what UNI's plans for that property are. Is it gonna be student housing? Maybe it's gonna be cheaper than for the students who live there. I don't know.
And that's actually what I was asking. I would like them to come and tell us.
Right.
That's an awful lot of money for us to be just wiping off the tax roll.
Well, it's wiping off regardless of whether we pass it or not, because, right, like, yeah.
I mean, the sale of property to the.
Yeah, I think it's great to ask them to, and come and have a conversation and for us to get some insights. I don't know if us passing this is going to, I don't know that this is the heavy stick,
You don't control whether or not you pay these things.
No.
It fit me wrong, I just, at this point, just wanted to have them come in. If it goes through, goes through, but I think when we see stuff like this coming through, I think it is up to us to double check some of these. And I really appreciate the opportunity to go through and look at these and understand why they were coming to us for coming off the tax roll.
As Tim stated, we did receive payment from them. We did actually receive payment of $170,135.28, just so you're aware. So it paid all of September's, and it paid a portion of the March taxes. The part that we're asking for abatement on is the remaining balance of March, just so you're aware of that.
Thank you, that makes a lot more sense now.
Well, is it something you feel comfortable, I guess, if you have questions about it, reaching out to someone and talking about it? I just thought asking them to come in and explain something that is really just a procedural type of thing. The property's already been sold, they did this part of it as a, but is it something that when you want them to, they could change their mind even on what they want to do with the property, and
that's my concern.
But even if they do, we can't do anything about that.
Understand. It just hit me wrong when we're approving these kind of dollars to be rolled off the tax roll. That one just kind of felt like it needed some explanation.
I mean,
cities do it all the time.
Well, I know,
and
I looked at the ones at the cities.
It takes a pretty minimal search of what UNI has announced their intent is. They're building apartment complexes. There's an entire project slated that's been published in the Courier, on KW. Like, this isn't like some secretive thing. I guess I'm failing to understand why we wouldn't.
Well, this isn't a dorm. This isn't a student dorm. This was a privately held property, large apartment complex.
Are you suggesting we would even entertain not approving this?
Well, that's what my motion is until they come in and give us an explanation. If I had some explanation what their plans are for the future, I'd feel better about this. But right now, with this out there, I just felt this was one that needed some explanation, or someone from the college come in and tell us what their plans are with the building. It is an awful lot of money.
As opposed to just reading it online. You're wanting UNI to come and speak to the podium and do this performative thing when you've got the information at hand. Like it says, KWWL and the Courier have both reported the development project that they're planning to execute at this property. You're saying that you still want them to come and ruffle?
No, explanation. I feel the people of the county need some explanation on this. When you're taking a private entity with this kind of a large apartment project and give us some, I didn't know it was in the paper. I haven't seen anything on it myself.
Yes, been months ago. But.
Okay.
I forget procedurally where we're at. Did we have a motion and a second, and then, no, we just had a motion with the adjustment? Do we have a second on the motion with the adjustment? Hearing none, do we have a motion as read in item 8D?
So moved.
Second.
This is a resolution. Roll call, please.
Schwartz,
Yes.
Grant,
Yes.
Kurttenbach,
No.
Leyland,
Yes.
Hall.
Yes. Item 8E, resolution to approve and authorize the county auditor to spread upon the tax list the assessed and taxable values for railroads, pipelines, electric, and gas companies in Blackhawk County for the 2025 assessment year payable in the 2026-27 fiscal year, as fixed by the Iowa Department of Revenue in accordance with Iowa Code Chapter 434.22, 437.10, and 438.15, as recommended by Tim Jameson's Systems Real Estate Tax Manager, with a complete listing available upon request at the county auditor's office.
So moved.
Second.
If there's any questions, otherwise.
Tim, do we see many of these come through?
Just real quick. Tim Jamison, Systems Real Estate Tax Manager. As you know, houses, buildings, residential, commercial, industrial property, agricultural property, real property are all assessed by the assessor's office across the hall. Utility companies, including railroads, gas and electric, pipelines, are assessed by the Iowa Department of Revenue every year, and then they send those assessed values to the auditor's office. The code says that once we receive those, we need to have the Board of Supervisors adopt a resolution to place them on file. Essentially, you're not actually approving the value, you're just placing this on file for public notice. I will say good news on this year. Taxable value of railroad and pipeline companies grew about $8.2 million, which is about 13% increase over the previous year. Gas and electric utilities in the county grew $11.7 million, which is about an 8% increase in taxable value over the previous year. So that's about $20 million of additional taxable value that you'll have when you set next year's budget to set your tax rate against. So, I mean, I think that's good news for us. I've seen it go the other way before.
Now, I know this was part of the area where they did the rail change for Wapsie, the bridge there, Wapsie Road.
Oh, this is just countywide value.
Oh, that is countywide,
Right.
because it listed certain areas on the
So
list.
we have to list it by tax district. So, you know, if a railroad goes through Barclay Township, we have to segregate that value that's in Barclay Township so that when Barclay Township taxes against it, that's who gets it,
Okay.
and the school districts as well. So we have to break it up among the tax districts. I was just giving you the countywide amounts.
Okay.
Tim, is that every other year?
This is every year.
Okay.
Right. So you'll see this again next year and the year after and the year after.
Thank
Unless
you.
they change the laws. Thanks.
Thank you. All right. Roll call, please.
Grant,
Yes.
Kurttenbach,
Yes.
Schwartz,
Yes.
Hall.
Yes.
Leyland.
Yes.
I knew I was.
I'll be on guard too. Item 8F, motion to direct the county auditor to advertise for a public hearing bid opening to be held at 9:05 on December 9th, 2025 in boardroom 201 of the Blackhawk County Courthouse, 316 East 5th Street, Waterloo, Iowa, on the proposed Raymond Road HMA resurfacing with milling project LFM-5031-7X-07 in Blackhawk.
So moved.
Second.
Board, this is one of our resurfacing projects for next year. We will be using local funds to pay for this, and this motion, approving this motion will allow us to send out the plans for this project with the letting date of December 9th. And we will be keeping the city of Raymond informed because they are paying about $225,000 for this, their portion of the work as well. Thank you.
This is a motion. All in favor, say aye. Motion carries. Item 8G, discussion possible board action, leased horse property on recently purchased Raymond Road.
Good morning, board.
Yeah, yeah.
So this is a little bit of a curveball that Sherm threw me. After we had purchased the range, everything closed, said and done, he came by, I don't know, a month or two later and said, there was something I forgot to tell you. I said, okay. He said, just north of the cemetery, right on Lafayette Road, there's a little mill building and some horses that pasture there. And I said, yeah, I've driven by them a million times. He said, those are actually on your property. So we technically are now holding a lease to I think it's about 4.5 acres, if I remember right, yeah, 4.6 acres of land that the lady right next door to it actually owns. The property line runs right along there. I've always just assumed it was hers. So he said base materials plan was always just to kind of let her keep it until she was no longer the owner. So she actually stopped into my office shortly thereafter to ask about it, and I said, well, plan is I got to run it by the board, obviously, but I'm okay with you staying there as long as you're still the owner. And she's kind of a spirited old gal, and she said, so you're saying I can keep it until I kick the bucket? I said, well, that's not really how I was going to phrase it, but essentially, yes. So we've got 4.6 acres that the current lease she's on actually expires, well, it was signed last November, so it expires in the spring, I think. It's 4.6 acres. They've been doing $35 an acre for a big $161, but as we get into budget, Michelle, that should really help that up.
Revenue
Might pay you for a week.
Yes. Yeah, so just I guess kind of we've talked about, I don't know if she would even be interested in purchasing, but if so, then I also have to get a survey to get everything redone that we just did. It's a part of the thing that I'll never use for anything. It's clear up out of the way, clear on the west side of our property. Again, it's right on Lafayette where the road curves around. If you go by there, you see them there, and they look like they belong with the houses there. So I guess we just need a little bit of direction as to what we want to do with her, because it's considered an agricultural lease, since we didn't notify her by September that we're canceling it. She's already in for another year.
Yeah, she's locked in for 26.
Yeah, so she's locked in at that. We will get her signed another lease, and obviously we'll make her provide proof that she's got insurance on the building that's there and stuff. So then, A, to make you aware of it, and B, going forward, and I'm perfectly content to let her keep leasing it as long as she owns it, and then whenever time comes that she's looking to sell or move on, then we just eliminate that little headache for us. But
So you need us a motion to accept this lease then?
I know we put it on there for discussion possible board action, so we might have to draw up the lease yet. We don't even have the lease, but if that's something you want, I would say probably no action at this point. I might draw up the lease and then we'll get it back on as an action item to.
Just wanted to see if the board had any questions, comments, concerns about it.
There's been no issues or concerns with it apparently.
The real advantage of maintaining a lease on it as opposed to just letting it be there is that we don't risk losing that portion of property by some kind of, equitable process like adverse possession or something like that. She's using it permissively now for a mineral lease. It seems like it's probably the best way to continue forward with this rather than to disturb it and to put provisions in the lease that when she ceases to own the property or live at the property, that at that point the lease would terminate and any overpaid rent at that point would be refunded.
Would that be something, and just for consideration, I'm thinking too, like we're upon her death or some such fortunate thing plans for her, would that be something and the family could acquire the home and then it would continue, or is that something we'd consider?
I would, the way I was just describing it, I would consider that an event that would mean the family would
No longer.
or they would have to negotiate it with us if they would continue to own her home or any subsequent as well.
And right now it's just been a year-to-year lease. It always has.
That's what they've done, a year-to-year lease, so
Year.
if we wanted to extend that, we could, obviously, but.
And is this right along the road then?
Yep, it's right along Lafayette. If you go just north of the cemetery where Lafayette curves back to the west.
I'd be more interested in just doing the year-to-year lease, because as we
I think about potential needs for incubator farm locations, that might be a pretty accessible one.
Definitely year to year. The only reason we bring up those
In case that would
termination
happen during that
provision
year.
would be, yeah, exactly, during the year.
We don't want it to go into the estate or anything.
Yep.
Yeah.
Just get a clean break when the time comes, but she's been using it forever, so we're not gonna, don't wanna just take it from her.
Yep.
And Mike's gonna work up a lease.
Yep.
But you said we had one in place till when, next year, right?
They signed it November of last year, and I'm trying to see when it actually took effect. But it goes through, I think, the spring on it, so.
So,
In the event that they were, let's say that the other lease had expired at this point, because it's agricultural, it would continue by law in terms of the original lease. So either way, it's a stable situation, no pun intended.
Wow, look at you.
Yeah.
Hey, here all week.
On a Wednesday meeting.
Better just stop there, Mike. That's-
I didn't
Mic
notice
drop.
that until it came out of my mouth, honestly.
All right. So I think you got direction you need.
Yeah,
Okay.
thank
We'll
you.
move forward on that.
Sounds good. Perfect, thank you.
Thanks.
I'll just hang here for the next.
Yeah,
Yeah, I guess, yeah.
next
Oh.
up,
Yeah.
yeah.
We
Here
should
we
just tell
go.
them we just did.
We just had a discussion on,
We tabled
the ordinance.
How'd it go?
That was all right. I like it.
Faster
About
than
3
I
o'clock, you can watch it on YouTube. Item H, discussion of the county traffic ordinance.
So, this is something I wanted to, get in front of us and discuss as we have been met with, House File 718 challenges and as a possible way to explore revenue generation. And so it's something I discussed in brief with Mike and Nate over the last 8-9 months. And something always seems to pop up. And so here we are, it's November, and what better time than the present to discuss it. So anyway, that's what it is. So just some, just to get some discussion and see what we can do. So.
Well, and I wanna throw something out for the sake of this discussion on where I'm at, what questions I have real quick on it. First of all, I believe, correct me if I'm wrong on this, but I believe the idea is that, okay, right now, we currently, if we issue speeding or other traffic tickets, that revenue is shared with the state because it's according to state law that's violated, correct?
Goes to the state, and then we get 9%
9%.
revenue of any citation written in the state regardless of the agency, as long as it's under a state code. So like a lot of some of the cities will write things under city ordinance. I know Justin actually came to me a few months ago and said, hey, why aren't we writing traffic under a county ordinance? And I said, well, because you would have to draw some up and enact them first.
Well, and so far, I'm not getting, I haven't dug into this real deeply, it's gonna take some time.
Yeah.
Because the immediate answers I'm getting are that, well, if the county ordinances mirror the state ordinance, then the distribution between the county and the state is the same as it would be, just enforcing the state ordinance. But then, I wonder about that because you see cities doing it all the time by city ordinance. And it seems, now, this is dangerous territory when I say it seems, but it seems as though the cities are keeping a larger portion of those proceeds. And Justin, is that your understanding as well?
Yeah, upwards of over 80%. The exact numbers I can't give, I don't know, but, and it might be higher than that.
There's gotta be something for the court that's involved if in fact, is there?
That's based on the fine.
Yeah.
So the court costs separate, but as far as the fine distribution, 80+% of that fine, say $100 fine, $80 of that goes to the respective city's general fund.
As opposed to $9 of it.
Right. Yep.
So,
The one thing on that though is I don't believe we can write them within any of the city limits or on any of the state highways either, so we would pretty well be limited to Cedar Wapsie, Junction Road, the actual.
I'm sure you're right as to city limits. I've always wondered as to the other highways only because we see a lot of city and county enforcement on state and other highways that
Right.
are part of the national highway system. But the real question here in my mind, it's not hard to create an ordinance, I don't think, because you take ordinances that already exist and you more or less copy those, maybe tweak them here and there. The answer I have to figure out is what really happens with the proceeds from that. Is this going to be something that increases county revenue if indeed we're writing this under a local ordinance as opposed to a state law right now? And part of the reason I'm bringing this up is because some of my preliminary, and that's what research I've done is preliminary, some of my preliminary research indicates that if the local ordinance mirrors state law, then the 9% is what we're limited to still, and that's what I need to see if that's right or wrong, and have to dig a little deeper on it. So, because otherwise, the question then becomes, what are we trying to accomplish that we don't already accomplish under state law? But I agree, it does. This is one of those things where it gets put off now and then because something always pops up that's a higher priority, and that is, it's time to make it a priority.
So the one benefit is like, if the cities do it, then instead of the county attorney's office prosecuting it, the city attorneys have to. Obviously for us, we don't really have to worry about that aspect of it, but.
Well, instead of reinventing the wheel, can't we look at other counties, see if something's already in place?
Yeah, and I've looked at some, and some have just a pretty broad, 55 is this. I've seen, I forget what county it was, but it actually broke it down and said, gave certain sections of C66, of C57, whatever, they actually broke it down and did like some ordinances just under speed for, which for my guys, that would be a headache to make sure that you're writing it into the proper ordinance, that you're on the right roadway, but yeah, it's out there, and I mean, contact those people to see how they work it, but obviously that's really not our end. It doesn't matter to me whether we write it under city code, county ordinance. If we do enforcement in like Raymond right now, we write things into their city ordinance. We'd have to get it added into tracks and that kind of stuff, and I'm guessing that's not a big deal.
Is enforcement an issue at all? I mean, we enforce it when you see it, but.
It's not really gonna change anything operationally for us. The guys are still gonna be out doing their thing, and when they write a ticket, the only thing it would change is they'd have to keep in mind, if they're on a county road, we're asking them to write it under this county ordinance as opposed to under state code. I'd have to look, I don't know how many tickets we're writing right now, and if so, I don't know how many of those are on a county road as opposed to a highway or in town. So I don't even know what you'd be looking at for revenue, but there would definitely be something there.
Do you write many overall?
I would have to look and see where we're at. We kind of keep tabs on them. Kind of depends on who's on patrol at the time. Some are a lot busier than others. So, again, like I said, I don't know. I don't have it mapped as to where those tickets are written to, so.
I think generally you're receiving about at least 90,000 a year, maybe in that range.
Well, as far as what our 9% brings in, yeah, I actually was just looking at that, so.
9% is 90,000.
I think so. That is a guesstimate from my holy memory.
And that's not, that's not bad either, that's.
But again, that's every agency in the county, 9% gets us that. So our percentage of what we're bringing out, that's every state trooper, every Cedar Falls officer, every Waterloo officer. If it's written in Blackhawk County, we get 9% of it. So I mean, our percentage of that is probably pretty minimal on that.
Yeah. Justin, is some of your thought, I remember, I believe it was stop sign outside of Raymond, that was a little bit of this, felt like there was some discussion on how do we enhance some enforcement. It gets a little hairy at that intersection along the old 20.
Dubuque and Raymond.
Yeah, was that sort of where some of this started?
No, it was just, where I'm at, full-time, we do city.
Yeah.
You have the discretion to do city or state, and just given the financial crisis, call it whatever, but the current state where funds are a little bit more limited now, like I will tend to write city ordinance when I can, just because of where those dollars are gonna go. And so, that's where it came from, so I just questioned, like, why don't we have something for county Because in theory, if it's the same, if it's a matter of potentially generating more dollars, well, we, 9 times more dollars per citation. Maybe this is a way to offset dollars that we're getting lost through state legislation.
Have other counties, have you talked to any other counties too to say what that's maybe done to their revenue stream?
No, I mean, I can certainly do that, I'll put that on my,
Just curious.
as a priority actually to follow up on, because I think it's something that's worthwhile.
I know Kathy, you had shared with us, maybe 5-6 months ago, I wanna say like the top 5 most dangerous, not to say that they're dangerous, but those intersections, and I wonder if this isn't all a part of a at least adjacent conversation, if not the same conversation of enforcement, of what do we do with those dollars? How do we address, how do we use ordinance to address safety? Was that about 5 or 6 months ago that you shared the list?
Yeah, I give you our top 8 or 9 intersections
Yeah.
by crash rate.
Yeah.
Looking at the data, yes, we could have that conversation. I can bring some more of that information back to you.
Adjacent, like you said, because it may not be because of speed, but it certainly could be.
Yeah. Because I don't know that necessarily the traffic ordinance isn't just about speed either. It's stop signs is a big one. When we've had some fatalities, it's been at the stop signs.
I've had several come to me about problems with Jake brake and coming up to corners and using engine braking or noise ordinance violations. And there are several spots. I mean, I ain't gonna say that we have one of the deputies sitting there could pull a bunch over, but the people are telling me that if they were there, it wouldn't take them long to be writing tickets doing it. So I don't know if those kind of dollars, do they come more, we get more of that to the county?
I mean, Jake breaking, that's a county ordinance that we're right under, so yeah. And if you're hearing of places, let me know and I can have people there. The problem is, they see us sitting there, they don't do it while we're there, and as soon as we drive down the road, they're right back to doing it. We saw that with the embargo's now no longer valid in Raymond, but we'd sit there for an hour and write trucks, and one of my guys, even as he was issuing a ticket for it, you could hear him on the radio and then saying, they're in Raymond, go around, go around. As soon as they're gone, they go back to it, so.
I seem to remember from a past presentation that you actually have to get like the decibel reading in order to catch it.
Yeah, it's actually a difficult thing to enforce, because you can hear it, you can know it, I can say, yeah, that's way too loud, but unless I can put a decibel meter on it.
I think as far as a county ordinance, like as long as it wouldn't create more work that would offset the revenue, then I think it's something we should.
I mean, from the enforcement end, there's no change whatsoever. Once we have the different code and put into tracks, which is a system that we write our tickets through, that's no different. I mean, the bigger issue is gonna be more on Mike's end, or if someone fights a ticket, what happens there, or, I mean, if the revenue truly doesn't change, it's probably not worth it, but if it does change and move us from 9% to 80%, I mean, it's, again, the person's not gonna see a change. We're gonna write, generally anytime you do this, you mirror the fine amounts of stuff, so you're not costing the person anymore, so it's not like it's a money grab from the citizens or from the offender. It's, they're seeing the same thing. It's just a matter of if we get more of that piece of pie than the state does.
That's really what it boils down to. I mean, we've seen cities obviously want to capitalize on traffic ordinances, even on major highways. Cedar Rapids comes to mind, Waterloo comes to mind. But having said that, or I should say try to profit when they do enforcement, they do collection efforts or speed cameras and whatnot. But having said that, it's a situation where I need to complete the research to make sure that we're actually doing something that's gonna make a difference in terms of how much we get to keep of that.
One other thing I would somewhat worry about is if the state said, well, if you're writing your own, you don't need our percentage of our 9%. And I guarantee you, we're benefiting a lot more from the 9% from what the troopers are writing, from what all the city agents are writing, than what we're gonna take back on ours. I don't know if that's a thing, if they would do that, but we would definitely come out on the losing end of
Based on the activity we've seen in the last couple of years, they do it, they consider it.
Yeah.
They consider shifting more to us and less benefits.
Is fine amount, is that sort of set? Who determines the amount of the fine? Is that
That's
a state
codified,
policy?
that's,
Is it a-
yeah, no, that's under, 320 and 285, it lists all the fines from 1 to 5 over is X amount, 6 to 10 is this amount. And the fine is actually not even that big of a percentage of the thing by the time you throw in court costs, surcharge,
Sure.
it's in there.
But we aren't able for, to open this up, I really wanna make sure that if there is a way to address from a policy side, some of those dangerous intersections, but that really only happens if there's, some stick there, right? If we had the flexibility to have a hefty fine at a particular stop sign, for instance, with the intended purpose, you're not gonna you can't burn staff hours sitting there, and I get that. But if the intent is to make those intersections safer, and the mechanism to do that is fine collection, then, but I just don't know what our flexibility there is in terms of our.
If you're
us
setting an ordinance, you
or-
can set the fine for whatever, I don't think there's anything that says it has to mirror what the state is,
Okay.
but then, I mean, that's something obviously you guys have to worry about any backlash coming
Sure.
on that. As far as like Dubuque and Raymond, I know a few years ago, it used to be straight through on Dubuque, they've changed it to where there's flashing stops everywhere, it's a 4-way stop. I mean, there's some of those things that there's really no excuse to miss the stop sign, people other than people who are distracted and not paying attention. Same at Canfield and Dubuque, we had a fatality there a year or so ago, and there's a flashing red stop ahead.
Sure.
Taking on that, I mean, it's.
And I'll be honest, that spot in particular is where my thought is, well, if there's an increased fine, it does actually give you a little bit of pause when you're coming up to that stop sign. Is it worth running it? It's the same reason that when I was coming back from Iowa City yesterday, I was certain to be 5 miles. I hit my threshold coming around that bend in Cedar Rapids, right? Like, you know
They're
where.
turning those back on.
Yeah, there are some of them.
The thing is, I mean, we could have a sign for, expanded enforcement, whatever, if they're not seeing a flashing red light telling them to stop. I don't think most of the stop sign things that we get are conscious efforts, like, I'm gonna blow the stop sign, it's because they're talking, because they're looking at the phone, because they're doing whatever, I mean. And we could put all the signs, all the added enforcement, all the things we want, but so people start paying attention to the road.
I think if word got around the community, like you blow one of our stop signs, which to me, I don't have empathy for people blowing stop signs. So that's pretty dangerous, that you're gonna get a $500 or $1,000 ticket.
Iowa's fines are extremely low if you start comparing them. You go get a speeding ticket in Illinois or something, and it's gonna hurt. In Iowa, it's not as bad.
Right, and I do think if you live around that area and you use that intersection frequently, you will start to think about, especially after that first one, you catch a $500 fine for blowing through a stop sign. You probably are going to make sure you tap that brake a little longer when you get to the sign, and that makes that intersection a little bit more safe.
Two-part question, Nate, and Mike, maybe you need input on this too. With the cameras, can we still, if we put a camera up for stop signs, we can still, those are still eligible as far as collecting fines, people blowing stop signs?
They are, again, I don't know about in the county what it takes to get.
Okay. And then the second part of that is this issue with the Jake brake, because it happens in a couple of spots in particular, on the north side of town, or northwest part of the county, or northeast county part of the county. Is there a camera or something that has a noise decibel reader that we could use something like that in place instead of having a deputy sit there?
I mean, we have an actual decibel reader thing, but then an officer has to go there and sit there with the window down and.
Right. I was wondering if there's a camera type situation that would do that as well.
I mean, I would have to guess that technology is probably available. I've never seen or heard of it, but again, then you run into, well, it's not a criminal citation then it's an administrative thing, kind of same with the speeding citations. If you're trying to write a ticket off that, it goes to the truck, it doesn't go to the driver.
I believe Waterloo has some of those cameras that can recognize like gunshots.
Yeah.
Or I assume that's like a decibel reading, so it's probably out there.
Well, the ones I'm hearing about, particular folks are telling me the one there, I think it's Dunkerton in Elk Run Road, North Elk Run Road, and then around Dewars, the other area. So that's,
Supervisor Kurtbach, they, a few years ago, we amended the J-break ordinance to remove a specific decibel requirement, make it more of those, you know, when you're gonna hear it type of things that, you know, it's when it makes loud or offensive noise, because what had happened was, the sheriff's office opined that, this was when Sheriff Thompson was in office, had opined that there was just no way they could enforce it on a practical level. Yes, they could get a decibel reading, the problem was being ready for it. At the time, they'd have to sit and wait for a J-break violation, that didn't occur predictably. Now, do they happen? Yeah. Do we hear about it? Absolutely. But that was the problem. So the idea was, well, this way you can do it more spontaneously. You know, you can hear an engine braking, we all know what it sounds like, and do it then. Having said that, it's a tricky one to enforce. I think it's a tricky one for anyone to enforce. And I don't know on whether they have camera technology to make that determination or not, but that was kind of some history I thought you should be aware of there.
That, and I've found too, a lot of times those people that complain that something happens all the time, I mean, it might happen daily, it might happen twice a day, but for us to have somebody there for that, I mean, it seems a lot worse when you're the one being bothered by it. The neighbor's dog that barks all the time, it's barking for a half hour a day, which is a lot when you're trying to take a nap, but it's hard for us to catch in time.
Were there other counties, Justin, that you found that were doing it? Even like,
No,
or no, maybe not enough research yet, but I didn't know if you talked to someone or knew that there were counties that were doing it.
no, I'll get on it today, I'll do some reaching out. But to the topic of the fine cap, I did, the preliminary research that I did, I do recall saying that we can't go above what the state fine amount is though. So I'm pretty certain about that, which would be reasonable, so that way municipalities and counties can't go buck wild and, you know, charge what they want. So I think that's kind of the check there. I can't cite which code section requires that.
No.
That was my understanding as well. I was not absolutely certain of it yet. There are limits on what the county, through county legislation, can charge as fines, but I believe traffic limits may be subject to some type of state schedule of fines or limitation imposed by a state schedule of fines.
Yeah, is there anything, so outside of me reaching out to other counties, is there anything I can do that would help you guys in this? Because I know you guys have a ton of crap going on.
When you reach out to other counties, if you could A, get any ordinances they have, and B, find out what, and I think you're already gonna do this, but find out how they treat their proceeds if and when they write tickets based on the county ordinance.
As for me, not much. If you guys enact the ordinance, I'll tell my guys to enforce it. And operationally, it doesn't really change anything for us, so.
That's all I had on it, thank you.
Item 8I, discussion on entering into a potential contract with Northeast Iowa Food Bank to provide emergency support for local food pantry services.
Yeah, I think we've got a food bank representative with us. I put this on the agenda. It's been pretty well publicized. kind of the food emergency that we're in with the withholding of SNAP benefits this month. And the food banks had already been seeing record numbers coming in because of inflation, because of all sorts of factors, and that's been going on for the last number of years. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that there's just over 14,000 SNAP recipients in the county, approximately.
Blackhawk County, there's 7,500.
7,500, okay. And so that would equate to, what, about $1.5 million or something a month or something in that neighborhood?
The estimated economic impact for our county is $4 million.
4 million a month. So a couple other counties have made moves across the state. Lynn County is one. They pledged $80,000 of support. Polk County pledged $1 million. I know that we can't do $1 million, but I think that we could do something, even upwards of $100,000 in addition to the contract that we already have. We have strong reserves that are strong, for emergencies, and it's not just our own emergencies. This is a community emergency that a lot of people are really in need, and this comes at just the worst possible time of year too, I think. If you want to speak to kind of what you're seeing at the food bank.
Sure. Just first off, thank you for allowing me to speak today on behalf of the Northeast Iowa Food Bank and for your continued support over the years of providing, allowing us to provide more food to our community. Over 17,000 people in Blackhawk County experience food insecurity. 1 in 5 kids for food insecurity is a real thing. SNAP is a safety net. For every 1 meal the food banks can provide, SNAP provides 9 meals. Food banks and food pantries cannot fill the void when not having SNAP. For the Cedar Valley Food Pantry and 7 partner agencies in Blackhawk County, number of services provided was 36% higher last week compared to the first week of October. Total services were over 1,700. 10% of those using the Cedar Valley Food Pantry last week had not been to the pantry for at least 5 months. So we're seeing new people who haven't been here in a long time or are brand new.
Sorry, what was that number again?
10% haven't been here recently.
So they weren't all new, but they were some that hadn't been there quite some time.
Okay, I would like to turn it over to Abby Turpin, who is joining virtually to discuss how we are meeting the need and what you can do to help.
Awesome. Thank you very much, Shannon. Can everybody hear me okay?
Gotcha.
Great. I'm Abby Turpin. I'm the Director of Development, Marketing, and Communications at the Food Bank. As everybody's already been saying, the need right now is just incredible. The day-to-day, the lines out our doors, it's just emotional. But I will say how we are meeting the need, the community is just unbelievable. I pulled some numbers this morning for you. We've asked so many community members to come volunteer, of course. And just 2 weeks ago, our volunteers logged 620 hours in 1 week. And as of this morning, for just this past week alone, our volunteers have logged 1,119 hours. So just really grateful to the Blackhawk County community, just people really understanding the need. Of course, we've also been asking, if you follow us on social media, we are asking for financial donations. We need to be able to source the food, distribute the food. The community is really stepping up. We were able to match the money that the state of Iowa made available, but we just constantly need those donations to keep coming in so we can continue to fill the need. And of course, we're also asking people to advocate. As elected officials, it's just so important that everyone knows what food insecurity really looks like in the community. So thank you for your support. I'll send it back to Shannon, and anything that you can do, we are just really, really appreciative. Thank you.
No, we budgeted 50,000 food bank ready for this year. Has that check went out? Do we know?
It has not. They have not turned in any paperwork yet.
So can we get that paperwork, so we get that out first?
That's them usually, they have to complete it and submit it.
Okay.
I am jumping on a call tomorrow with Mayor Loddick and Mayor Hart and Barb, just to sort of talk through how, what does a full approach look like, not just one leg of government, but what can this, of course there's need, we know, we recognize need. Yes, the cut in SNAP benefits, even if it were quote unquote temporary, maybe it will be restored, but it certainly highlighted a need and the fragility of that system. And so the hope, I think, from that call is for an ask that the other entities will hopefully be able to come to the table as well. I think it'd be good if, obviously, we're there, we're represented, but we'll have a better feel, I think, after that call of what that appropriate dollar amount feels like.
So your understanding is that the call is to have that discussion and go with it. Okay.
At least, for them to take to their councils, obviously I'd bring it to the board, right, and we can sort of see what that step looks like.
My intention is to put this on for action for next week, to give you all time to think of, I'm thinking of up to 100,000, but think about an amount that you might be comfortable, even if these SNAP benefits are fully restored, the fact that people have gone without them in November, and these are people living on the margins already, that means that they had other increased expenses, either they late fees from bills that they weren't able to pay, taking out predatory payday loans, taking out or having bounced checks, because they had to spend more on food and not able to pay this bill. So even if everything in November is fully restored, like the need is still gonna be there through for the foreseeable future.
You'll be discussing maybe that too as well. I would assume kind of like what this looks like and going forward too.
Yeah.
Because it'd be helpful to have that information.
Yeah, I don't know, do either of you know, do the cities currently contribute financially into the food bank?
Abby, did you hear that?
Oh, sorry. Abby, do any of the cities throughout Black Hawk, do they contribute directly into the food bank through their budgeting practice?
Not in this case, not right now, no.
Okay.
No. There's some contribution for our building expansion that we're doing,
Yeah.
but not for this.
Gotcha.
At this point.
Thanks.
Thank you.
So not on an annual basis or anything, is that's
Yeah.
how I interpret that.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I think that is certainly something that we should bring,
Yeah.
I'll make sure to bring to their attention tomorrow, right, is that we do have, and that's not to say, I do think that we need to be the moment. Yes, they've got our dollars and we've budgeted 50 and they haven't turned in the paperwork. I'd imagine, frankly, they're a little busy.
Right now.
They're a little busy right now, to be shuffling.
We'll get on it,
Yeah.
promise.
Yeah.
So part of that paperwork, they need to provide performance statistics that they don't have yet for the year, so that's.
Yeah, it's not
But this is a separate kind of thing.
I think the conversation, I think what Chris is talking about, the conversation with the mayors tomorrow is outside of regular business, how do the communities need to meet the need that we know is there?
But I think it's a good fact, like say
Yeah.
having that discussion that they don't, why not?
Yeah.
And if our support can inspire them
Absolutely.
to,
Absolutely.
that would be great.
What does the money go to at the food bank then? Where does the fund support?
Our funds currently, and my intention for this would be to support their pantry operations. So in addition to being the food bank that serves all these different counties in Northeast Iowa, they run a large pantry outside of there, and that serves just Black Hawk County residents. That's so for like food purchase and stuff to
Yeah.
supply the pantry.
if I can add in just a little bit more on that. Protein purchase, especially this time of year for our holiday distribution that is at our pantry. Last year, we served 3,800 families, and this year our goal is to serve 5,200 because of the increase in need. And, protein can be pricey, and so we have to source that and then go and get that protein and bring it back in. So a large amount would be to make protein purchases.
Okay, thank you.
We have really highly qualified expert sourcers on staff at the food bank that do an amazing job of working with reclaiming food and all sorts of things and getting, a better deal than someone could get at like a supermarket on their own.
Right. I was just trying to make sense of, let's say SNAP is reinstated at 100% tomorrow. Does the money go back to people in cash disbursements then?
I think it's gonna take, I think it would take a number of weeks at the minimum for them to see it. And I think that we'd probably even possibly see a delay in them even receiving the December at this point. I don't know. It takes, cause it involves the federal and then the state has to take action to load those cards.
And yeah, I'm guessing it wouldn't be a cash disbursement anyway. So to Chris's point, right, where folks have had to make some really tough decisions on their bills versus eating this month, then everything gets restored, is gonna get restored back on the food side. Well, that's not gonna get you caught back up on your, so there is gonna be this, the ripple there is tricky.
Are there not exceptions though, as far as, because I've seen several, with the federal shutdown where there's exemptions if your bills due this day, if you're affected by this as a federal employee.
There's some, but
And I know
from what I've seen, some of them were as short as like 10 days.
Yeah.
Well, 10 days was passed 4 times over, with that 40-some day shutdown.
Right.
And I think many of those were for folks that were just federal employees. Because we're talking about folks that by and large aren't federal employees. It's not.
Or potentially unemployed.
Yeah. Essentially unemployed, but even I think the numbers show that even a large percentage of people on SNAP are employed.
Really, okay. Yeah.
I think I heard in a news tweet or article this morning on TV, they were saying that it's gonna be after Thanksgiving for those around SNAP to see any kind of normalcy, just get back. And it'll be probably January before it's anywhere close to what was supposed to be normal. So yeah, it's gonna be another month and a half.
All right, well, we'll have an item on the agenda for next week.
Yep.
We'll have some discussions and I'll share around whatever I hear on our call tomorrow. We hope we can maximize input for impact.
Thank you for being here today.
Yes, thank you both for joining. Item 9, any reports or information from the board?
I just want to report that Monday night I attended the LaPorte City Council meeting. Shared with them some of the things that are going on here with the county. I did receive another concern from an employee about employee parking. So that's still out there. People are still wondering what's going on with that. And then I did get another email from Steve Furman about the coalition, trip coming up in March. And if we have something in mind or getting something put together for county concerns on the health department funding and how we need to get moving with that. I know it's a couple months away, but they're trying to put together a paper piece for a handout, and we need to get something going if we're gonna get on that.
Yeah, I know that Lisa in the health department leads their advocacy team, so I think she'd be able to help with that pretty quickly.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll reach out to Caitlin again.
All right. Item 10, resolution to certify the outcome of the votes cast in the combined city and school elections held November 4th, 2025, according to the Iowa Code subsection 50.2.
So moved.
Here they come. Wow.
Gosh, yeah, aren't you?
You sitting there the entire time waiting on them?
Stand at the door.
It just felt like maybe it's my turn.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Should have like entrance music.
Don't get mad at the paperwork.
Josh Rosendahl, Elections Manager. I've got 3 bundles here, so I will need 1 extra person to kind of clean up.
I will go ahead and do that.
With,
I'll be on this side this time.
yeah, just tell me what to do.
You guys don't need this.
Dip him up here real quick.
Wow.
I think not. You should have made
Oh, God.
bundles for
These
everything.
are the new
Your first bundle?
Yeah,
Buttons?
It's all right, I have it on the
Oh, sure, give him the smaller one. Oh, there you go, there you go.
This one has absentees.
Do the big one, then you got.
Great.
Which one do you want? Pick your poison.
Yeah, go ahead. I'll read. Are you, which
So
way do
one
you
of us
want?
takes the black book.
Open it.
All right.
You did the tapes. I did the tapes last time. I hate those guys. You should, all right.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Josh.
I didn't have to put them back together.
Yes. Barclay,
Make sure we have 1, 6.
This is what I should say.
1, 6?
Well, it says book 2 of 3.
Okay.
Waterloo.
1, 6.
Yeah.
And then one of us.
W1, P6.
Okay.
Whatever.
We'll just be waiting for the results and then we'll be verified.
Power, expertise, right?
Oh, let me see.
With
Yeah.
power,
1, 6.
Okay.
And then it goes to W2, P.
146,
I
146.
got 2 ones.
All right,
I
well,
don't
I
have
can,
1, 6.
well, I can skip that one. Full page. While you're looking at my next one is 2, 1.
146.
You leave your one of these other stats.
Alright. That should be a regular
Total paper?
Yeah.
Five and nine.
Yes, all right, so you want to do 2, 4, 6, 3, 2, 0, 4.
Alright, so now where am I gonna start with Michael Sherman?
Michael
Sherman.
0, 1.
Usually you can just read that. You don't have to read the whole name.
Yeah, that's the plan.
Alright, so 60, 6, 0,
2, 4, 286, 2, 0, 75, 92.
council, okay, start there. 62, 56, 43, 1, 0, 0, 0, 2,
Danny audit, so
total votes
1, 3,
246.
4.
We did have a
Board of
question.
Directors,
Our first page was
14,
1, 7, 4, 0,
0, 0, 0.
Board of Directors, 109, 133, 103.
That's what we wanted. Did you get rid of some?
What do I do with
Zero,
these?
zero,
I
seven.
said you put those, Karen put those.
Yeah, that works out good.
Yeah, that was back.
105,
129, 2, 143.
That's just small for me anymore.
No, I didn't.
Zero,
Oh, did you grab one? Oh, all right. 8, 9,
District
8,
5, writing 11, voter vote 0,
I
other votes
voted
12, 123, total 123. Jessup 4, Katie Bell 1, Item Miller 1,
Yeah, I'm sorry, I just turned it back on.
0, 0, 0.
Oh.
Like, wow, 8, 9, 8. 1, 0, 0, 0.
Yeah, 8, 9, 8.
Total 1.
Yep.
1, 0, 0, 1 total.
176, 3040, 219. And then Hawkeye race 168,
That is-
1062.
My District 3, Hawkeye Board.
Yeah, but it doesn't.
Did you read District 5?
So then he'll need this,
Flopsy.
because
I don't know.
this isn't
1,
Waterloo.
0, 0.
Hudson schools. 603, Mayor, 331,
1, 6 is just Hudson schools.
Is Hudson
Probably
40 for yes. for now,
Ninety-one.
zero over,
And
correct?
then once it comes back up to
Four
one.
ninety-one, one forty-eight, two forty-seven,
So that's
two
43 or
oh one,
48.
For the rest are city school.
114,
way worse.
Oh, but Azure
Zero, zero,
zero,
Well, we're trying to,
zero,
right?
ten
I'll set this
eighty-nine.
here,
total 125.
that is.
What was the 0, 0? 'Cause I don't have those.
Oh, that's because of the three, so you have to
2-2.
add
Two,
up
one.
those
We did
items.
2-1.
So it'd be a two total.
129.
And then the building is 275, 738, 365.
Take all their.
And then executive record, I got no votes. Any opposed, so then I go down to Hudson Board of Directors.
Okay.
We just have that. That's fine.
From the top.
789,
210,
and then no write-ins,
4,
9 under
2,
votes, or
14,
total.
703 total.
Maybe we don't
Council,
Couple races,
177,
first house race 10, 0, 0, 1, 11.
9,
And
1,
the second
3,
race,
9, 1406
4,
total.
0, 95, 3, 6.
Correct. It was a write-in, write-in votes.
Got 33.
Yeah, 33
Yeah.
for write-ins.
Alright, Cedar Falls, Ward 3, Precinct 4. Mayor, 438, 10, 0, 61, 529.
Yeah, I was like,
375, 0, 135, 5.
But I'm not
Oh, I see.
Ward 3, 121.
If you say it's done, we're done.
138, 2, 0, 48, 529.
Correct.
First number
Board of Directors, 235,
What'd you say, yeah?
264,
137?
We've got a write-in vote,
184,
which I've got 33.
5 write-ins,
137.
2 overvotes, 247 undervotes, 1587.
244, 13, 0, 7, 3.
Total matches with the numbers didn't match here with the overvotes and undervotes.
Report city council.
I have five write-ins, 6 overvotes, 247.
Yeah. We'll split it tonight. Hey, trust me. Yeah. 107 is the number of stars.
Yeah, so this will be.
After that, 151, 21, 0, 0,
You
0,
said 6.
Yep, 6 total votes.
Oh, because there's 2 write-ins.
201.
Total, right?
Yeah.
Okay, thanks. Yeah, we were gonna get there.
Cedar Falls Board of Directors.
So under, what was that?
Three
Under
ninety,
39 total,
10,
14
0,
Yep.
129,
Justin Board of Directors.
529.
Ones,
And
one,
then
one,
Hawkeye,
0,
385,
0, 0,
4,
0, 0,
1
total votes 3.
529.
781, write-in 16, 0, 95.
Now, come on, don't get crazy.
If I have a relative that was running.
I'm not-
332,
I have to recuse myself.
0.
Oh, really? No.
So yes, you can't have, like your wife cannot,
Meeting board, right.
when you're on the
331,
ballot, well,
0,
for all of you,
551
you can't,
under,
your wife wouldn't be
892 total.
He's looking for
No,
a way out of this.
I'm trying to get out of this.
He's trying to get out of this. Just say no. Yes,
0,
thank you.
199.
You
I am related.
Just do
keep doing this.
First number 151?
Yes.
Mayor,
0, 0,
Mayor,
0,
436,
0,
7,
0,
0, 70, 513.
175 was.
Council, 334, 17, 0, 142, 513.
0, 0, 0,
Ward
0.
3.
Oh, really?
137.
No, yeah, we got out of this, what's the try?
Exactly.
Mostly.
Come on. 31 and 22.
319.
31.
82.
It's like 734, 10,
7
0,
write-ins,
149,
2 non-voting undervotes, 31 total.
Wait a minute.
0, 0, 0, 0,
The
total 0.
vacancy, 386,
Public measure
9,
day.
0,
There's other parts of
118.
it.
Yeah.
49,
Hawkeye,
0,
Oh, okay.
17.
Cedar
Well,
Falls.
they continue.
Public measure day, 499.
Yeah, and it's another page too. 22, 27,
892.
4, 13, 0, 0.
Moving along.
34, 2, 0, 17, 53. 229, 2, 0,
That's new stuff up here.
3, 0, 3, 3, 14.
Then we have to sign a bunch of.
For 5,700 votes, or whatever the number was.
Fun part.
I've done these.
Alright,
3-2.
we're on, this probably goes in order of what these are exactly.
Yep.
3, 1, 1, 13, 1, 0,
Alright,
1.
so in project count 152, alright, so Grace Rover, 9, 11, 11, 12, 5, 0, 0, 0, 0, 6, 54. 12, 0, 0, 6, 18, 9, 3, 0, 0, 0, 12, 12, 0, 0, 0, 12, 12, 0, 0, 0, total 12. So 30, 20, 28, 21, 17, 0, 0, 0, 2, 34, 156. 11, 0, 41, 52. 10, 12, 10, 1, 0, 0, 0.
Then we just need 1, 6, 1. 0,
0, 0, 18,
189.
78.
Yep. 2, 5, 105,
13,
10,
0, 0, 5, 18, 81,
30.
or 81, 8, 0, 7, 96. 44, 8, 0, 0, 52.
238, 1, 0, 67, 237, 0, 0, 69, 0.
So just like the writings, because it's a vote for three.
Right corner,
34, 2.
I had two on the team, because it's a vote for three, we had to take two.
okay, separate.
Oh, that's what it
Because
was.
that was the
Okay.
7, total 1,
3 of them, yep.
101, 91,
All right,
4,
3-3.
0, 0, 30, 226.
16, 220.
45, 0, 0, 3, 48.
288.
14, 0, 34, 48.
Correct, yep.
14, 0, 34, 48. 32, 0, 0, 50, 48. 143, 3, 0, 32, 178. 91, 1, 0, 29, 121. 33, 0, 0, 15, 48. 76, 34, 0, 3, 113.
Yep.
Public measure 27, 20, 0, 1, 44.
Correct.
And Hawkeye 231, 2096.
Correct. Hang on, is this a duplicate or am I?
Okay,
It looks like it's
Eagle Orange
Right.
for Housing Board of Directors.
Mayor, 143, 507, 155. 126, 300, 109, 72, 245, 100, 47, items 4, 84, 465.
Yeah, I think it's, would this be a duplicate on here? Harold, would it be a duplicate?
To vacancy,
Or not?
128, 00,
Well, I thought I'm looking at the same exact numbers,
and
end of report
Hawkeye
here.
116,
And I came down here and it looks like the same exact numbers. Okay, that was like, am I having a moment here?
Cedar Falls Ward 4 Precinct 2, Maine, 322, 7,
Eagle
0,
Orange.
34, 363. Council 280, 0, 69. 363. Board of Directors.
Okay.
232. Midnight, 130, 241, 114. Write-ins 2,
31,
for both
1, 0,
9,
5,
172,
9,
1089.
0,
To
28.
vacancy,
37.
24, 4,
8,
0,
29.
65,
37.
363. And Hawkeye
27,
273,
0,
1,
0, 10,
0, 89.
25, 2, 0, 6, 33.
124,
33,
Yeah, it was like very true.
004, 37. Yep. 6, 0, 0, 1, 7. Yep. 50, public measure 51, 23, 0, 3, 77. 16, 21, 0, 37. Yep. Correct.
Board of Directors, 218, 193, 151, 249, 106, no write-ins.
See how it comes out.
And 199.
The problem.
Vacancy 284, 7, 0, 82, 73, and Hawkeye 273, 20, 98.
117, 131, 001, 249.
Okay, that was.
119, 114, 118, 83, 0, 2, 59, 498, 187, 3, 0, 59, 249. 190, 2, 0, 57, 249.
Board of Directors, 171, 170, 123, 213, 106, write-ins 4, overvotes 6, 149, 942, two-fill vacancy 264, 40, 314. Hawkeye,
Josh, I get it all cleaned up for you. I get too behind and too messy with it. Correct. Evansville Mayor, 88, 33, 6, 0, 1, 128.
Come on, Justin.
What? What?
Come on, Justin.
Where we at? Thanks, Karen.
Oh, you guys want some?
112,
Yeah,
4,
you're done.
No, we still got, don't worry about us, we got plenty.
We still got a stack.
18, 3,
122,
0, 235, 256, 99, 0, 129, 128,
415, 12,
96,
0,
0, 32,
45,
128.
472. Council 345, 17, 0, 110, 472. Ward 5, 339, 18, 0, 115, 472. Board of Directors 205, 272, 240, 302, 174.
Wards 2 and 4.
Write-ins 8,
T-shirt one?
215 under, 14.
Oh, my God.
307, 0, 94, 72. Hawkeye
191, 83,
110,
257, 5, 0, 43, 305. 142, 8, 0, 26, 126. 92, 13, 0, 24, 129. 16, 0, 540,
Council 324, 7, 1, 71.
229, 6, 0, 70,
Ward 5,
305.
309,
222,
1,
6,
74.
0, 77, 305.
Board of Directors 197, 223, 143, 253, 136, write-ins 3, overvotes 3, undervotes 155, 111. For two-fill vacancies,
Hold on.
306.
Okay, here we go. 3?
Yep.
Okay.
306, 1064, 371.
Correct.
Hudson, no votes.
Correct.
Waterloo Board of Directors, 27, 005, 32.
101, 45,
Hawkeye,
9, 0, 4,
299,
159. 142, 5, 0, 12, 159.
What was it?
29, 6, 0, 283, 318. Yep. 121, 2, 0, 36, 159. 122, 4, 0, 33, 159. Yep.
All right, I have Washington, Janesville Union,
Okay.
Janesville Mayor, 32005.
Correct.
Janesville Council, 543. No write-ins, undervotes 3, total 15.
Correct.
City
Gail
Council
Bonds,
Board of
102,
Directors,
535, 4, 0, 6, 47. Yep.
24. No write-ins,
448,
no overvotes,
532,
under,
117. Correct. 6, 0, 2, 147, 1294.
40026.
430, 494,
None.
477, 16, 6, 0, 0, 518, 1941. 498, 6, 0, 143.
I mean, you see how close I am?
Yeah, I know, that's what.
Okay, none for this, District 7. For District 9, I have 72-00-41-113. And public measure A, our lost measure, 73-20-015 and 108.
Alright, three riders on that. 7, 10, 6, 6, 2, 0, 0, 0, 11, 42.
That's better if you don't.
6, 0, 0, 8, 14. 31,
No,
12,
I-
32, 0, 0, 0, 1, 84. 7, 8, 0, 0, 0, 1,
Yeah.
16.
Yep.
1, 0, 0, 1, 1, 0, 0, 0, 1, 1, 0, 0, 0, 1, 15, 0, 0, 7, 22. 41, 14, 0, 10, 65.
Okay, we have the absentee. So Cedar Falls Mayor, 523-7-0-44-574. Cedar Falls Council, 45, 455, 11-0-108-574. Ward 1, 82-10-19-102. Ward 3,
20, 5, 0, 0, 0, 25. 23, 1, 0, 0, 6. 50, 23, 0, 0, 2, 45. 67, 9, Craig, 3, 79.
Duncan Mayor,
57, 68.
Undervote.
5, 1, 0, 27, 158. 20, 1, 0, 2, 23. 2, 0, 21, 23. 19, 1, 0, 3, 23. 2, 0, 21, 23. 27, 6, 28. 1, 0, 0, 0, 14, 96. All zeros.
2 undervotes for a total of 8.
Correct.
Evansdale
All
Mayor,
zeros.
14,
All zeros.
9,
All zeros.
0, 0,
And then we got board of directors, school,
Evansdale,
76,
at-large, 21, 0, 0,
14, 91. 24, 1, 0, 16, 91. 29, 0, 0, 3,
Council
32,
Ward 4,
31, 10, 0, 1,
61,
42. Correct. All zeros.
Yeah.
15, 6, 0, 2,
for a total of
46.
46.
Correct.
Gilbertville Mayor, 41005.
Yeah.
Gilbertville Council, 5000110. Hudson Mayor, 525-00131.
Correct.
Hudson Council, 1826-710-001062. None for the Janesville Mayor and none for
Waterloo
the
Mayor,
Council.
118,
None for Jessup Mayor,
1,
Jessup
94,
Council.
20,
Sit
0, 0,
down to
1,
LaPorte City Mayor.
34,
41, 002.
Everybody start signing the other chair.
91,
Council,
61,
41,
0, 1, 11,
4, 3, 0,
234,
22,
56, 45, 46, 54, 41, 2, 0, 0, 0, 107, 351. 89, 0, 0, 28, 117,
44,
78, 2,
4,
0, 37,
write-ins would be a total of 7.
Okay. 2, 0, 38, 117,
Just to make you feel
Raymond
good.
Mayor, just 1 for Gary Dick.
Don't wonder you can't hardly
Raymond
read
Council, I
anymore.
got
You
one
need
special
these
candidate for a total of 2.
1 second. Correct.
Waterloo Mayor,
That's all right.
10,
I wasn't sure, why not?
19, 694, 138, 4, 1, 7, 1957.
Correct.
Waterloo at-large, 735,
Which one?
1017, 13, 3,
This one, I always forget one.
1957.
And then they'll say,
Waterloo Ward
Linda, yeah,
1,
these to sign.
210, 178,
I'm
141, 0,
143,
119,
0, 135, 32,
Council Ward
0,
3,
0, 1,
93,
31,
131,
130,
140,
3, 137, 311,
Ward 5,
79, 101, 112, 0, 1, 18, 311,
Sign it, it takes them all day.
41,
Cedar Falls,
35, 35, 51, 28, 0, 1, 1, 63, 258,
426, 194,
68, 1, 0, 17, 86,
overvote
162, 6, 0, 57, 225,
340, 1845.
69, 0, 0, 17, 86.
Bill vacancy 498, 11, 0, 106, 615. The Denver Board of Directors, 636010218. Dayton Hartford at large, 210003. Dayton District 1, 30003.
All right.
Dayton District 3, 30003.
I do have that.
Guilford in District 2, 900312. Guilford District 3, 1011.
Well,
I told you.
282. Correct. 216, 30, 282. Correct.
Dr. Brenda, 3,
Josh, you're
1,
great.
1, 4, 2. No write-ins, no overvotes,
That's usually,
10
that
under,
meeting's always Tuesday
21
before,
total.
so I hate when you
To fill
look at how
vacancy,
it is.
1067.
Okay, 2 o'clock.
Hudson,
See,
21,
everybody
25,
comes.
8,
218.
3,
6.
0,
257.
3 write-ins, 0
0,
overvotes,
0,
37
1,
under,
5,
12
49.
on whatever.
238,
Janesville Board of
242,
Directors,
2, 0,
4,
67, 5,
0, 0, 4, 10.
2, 196, 1,
Chester Board of Directors, they have 1, Christopher Young.
Yeah.
200 for a
12,
total of 3. Union at large, 65, 4, 0, 9, 78.
Correct.
District 1, 10, 0, 68, 78.
Correct.
District 2, 9, 0, 69, 78.
Correct.
To fill vacancy, 63, 3, 0,
127,
12,
4,
78.
132,
Benton
36,
Schultzberg, nothing.
1, 0,
Wapsie,
300.
nothing.
115,
Waterloo Board of Directors
135,
at large.
1, 0, 49,
15,
300.
22, 27,
89,
0, 4,
117,
38,
37,
97.
0, 17,
District
300.
1, 2,
209,
55,
1,
0,
89,
48, 305.
211, 2,
District 4,
0, 87,
374,
300.
8, 0, 89, 471.
Well, it depends on how much time you're making right. What do you mean just how much there is? Yeah, just the number, yeah.
District 3, 69, 0, 8, 79. District 4,
How many days you got?
0,
That's why I
0,
started this way.
Oh, okay.
District
It doesn't
5,
still
Would you have a
492,
Ward 1 precinct 6?
0, 86,
Ward 1,
584.
That one mistakenly got.
38, 0, 0, 48. District 9, 2, 4, 6, 0, 82, 292.
You want.
District 6, nothing. And then now I'm down to my public measures. Public
Oh,
measure A,
yeah, that's what I
65, 31, 06, 22.
So I'll do the first
Public
person.
measure AK, 40, 36, 02, 78.
That's not.
Public measure BL, 360, 312. And public measure TY, 7, 0, 0, 07.
268, 4, 301, 134, 0, 0, 0, 1, 7, wait.
Yep.
He was 290, 5, 0, 5, 7,
Oh, really?
229, 300, 149, 2, 26, 7, wait. 8, 9, 8, 2, 1, 1, 0, 10, 39. 515, 15, 0, 1,
It was painful.
6, 9, 5,
Well, that's why I was
8,
able
1,
to.
0, 13.
I can get this certificate if we can just go through that.
I actually will let them sign.
Wait, so what is the worst part's always?
The what?
Well, that's what they say about us, it's like good guy, young, you know,
Public
those
count. Josh,
ones
what's protected versus public count? There's a 40.
The protected count is kind of like the odometer on the machine, so any election.
Well, might as well start.
Supervisor.
Yeah, you're half done, yeah.
I report that there were 3 provisional ballots
So this is
rejected.
Okay.
contingent on this.
11
And
accepted.
the other one is just kind of overall usage on the machine as a whole.
Okay.
Hang tight.
God, that's so fun.
You're welcome.
I love that so much. Great.
Nice to hear that.
Yeah.
We're almost there.
May not even reading the sarcasm.
Yeah, but I thought when you.
All I hear is positive.
You and I.
It makes me better.
Sign away.
You don't need these in any particular order, do you?
No, he'll put them back.
Oh, wait, I need one of these under yours.
I mean, it's up to you. You guys didn't do it for me, but if you wanna start doing it for Josh, you can.
Oh, no.
Yeah, absolutely.
No? Sorry, dude. Sign those.
This pen I have is trash, so I gotta switch this thing out.
You better come back.
Oh, Oh, yeah, I'm gonna leave
This is
these.
the fun part, Richie.
They only just
Is
started.
this your first canvas?
Yes.
Oh,
So we just start at the top and work down?
Not
Or
as
is
long as
there
you're
a
not
specific
chair,
spot?
no spot, just anywhere you want, yeah, except the chair. And sometimes that even gets messed up.
You gotta lead with those, cause my signature looks.
Well, that's the whole point, isn't it? They get worse as they go on.
Hey, I got mine
This
from
is
my
the one with
doctor.
the seal on it, now it's.
Oh.
They're down to their
Oh,
last
frustrating.
packets on now.
Oh, no. I haven't noticed it
Right
yet.
after this.
Okay.
We'll take my recess.
Nobody reads them anyway, do they?
What time do you need it by now? Just make sure.
I don't know if they could, I don't know if they could, they might even look for
They
it.
might throw them all.
Doesn't mean they could read them.
There's 2 pages to this one.
Yeah, there's 2 pages in this, so,
Yeah. Looking at my I don't know why.
I also would like to report, once again, that our post-selection audit was a perfect match.
congratulations.
Thank you. Just if you're new, post-election audits are where the Secretary of State's office randomly draws a precinct the day after Election Day. And we unseal those ballots and hand count them, and the perfect matches they hand count was a perfect match to the machine count. I did a press release on it and all the major news networks picked it up, which is great. I think it's a great opportunity to educate the community that our machines work as expected.
That is good.
Does each county?
Yep, that's a state
One
requirement.
precinct per.
Yep, so the Secretary of State's office, I'm gonna guess, does like an auto generation, and then they send just one spreadsheet to all the county auditors, and then on the bottom is your county and tab, and then it's highlighted what precinct is selected. So we get those, like I said, Wednesday morning after everything's done and those ballots are sealed. And we've had a perfect match every time. Good job, Josh.
This
I
part's
second
the
that.
most tedious
Yes.
part.
We would love to do electronic signatures if we were allowed.
I was thinking about that on the way in, and like, that would make it so much
There's
easier.
one missing
Yes.
here. Signature missing here.
We
Nope.
said there would be.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, I did not catch that.
Oh, no, just inevitably there will be.
Yeah, we just, you missed
Yeah.
a page,
Yep.
yeah. Didn't get in. They're not voted in yet.
Yeah.
So how many of these we actually
One
decide?
thing would be advice for
No idea, way too many.
Yeah, how many are there?
Yeah.
With every race, and every.
Yep.
Davis, do you wanna do this one real quick?
Yep.
We have a motion and a second to certify the canvas. Can I do a roll call?
Yes, that'd be great.
Brandt,
Yes.
Schwartz,
Yes.
Kurtenbach,
Yes.
Leyland,
Yes.
Paul.
Yes.
Canvas certified.
Until the next one.
Till December, but won't be as many precincts.
Yep, one more, yeah.
How does, how's the information get from the polling location?
The results. They are hand delivered, so there's a memory stick in all of the machines. And so we assign runners to each location, and they pick up that memory stick, they seal it up in a tamper evidence seal and hand deliver it back. So that would be the delay, if you wanna call it a delay. I mean, we usually have everything loaded and reported by 9, but that's the delay of having those runners bring them, hand delivering them back.
So I'm assuming they're doing.
They're doing
Multiple.
2, yeah. We have 56 locations, so to get 56 people, one, it's just an extra cost.
Yeah.
And I don't even know if we can get 56.
Yeah.
So everybody usually does too.
You guys did a good job of having the results out pretty early.
Thank you.
Yeah, I know this time we kind of did things a little different. I utilized Gabby quite a bit more, so I could do the things on my end, and then she dealt with getting all that on social media and on our website and everything.
Awesome.
Seemed to work out pretty well.
Yes, we appreciate Gabby very much.
How late did you guys get out of here Tuesday night then?
So on election days, we're here at about 5:30 in the morning. And I think I left about 10:30 p.m.
Dang. Just need a pizza party now.
If you want to provide pizza, we'll eat it.
We should do that.
Well, listen to him.
I think
First he
Josh
offers it up, but then he goes,
was
yeah,
here
we
later
should.
than
Yeah, I think it was, I don't know, 11 or so.
Oh, I thought he was offering. We'd like some.
Are there still any reporters that gather in the room like they used to?
We had 2 people from the Courier. And then, we just had 1 person representing a candidate. And then, Scott Bensloff came a little bit later with the radio. But we don't really get as much anymore because we tell them we're gonna have them up on Facebook as quickly as if you were here.
I came once a long time ago before I was in office. I'm like, it's just as fast reading Grant's Twitter page at that point.
Yeah.
Who signed these?
Yeah,
We did.
like moments after.
Rich, Chair, and I, the 3 of us.
Some people.
The only reason I know it's Jerry is
That's why I
figure out
said,
who the other person was.
that's why I said it. It was
When we printed
Nobody
the
could
summary
read any of
sheet,
these
it probably
anyway,
took
so.
Gabby like less than 2 minutes to get it out on social media.
I
Neil, we
think
had to
all
pick
these
out
ones
5
are ready
people.
for Linda and Rich.
And then I'm gonna put it on the agenda, I'm gonna send something over to Lori, but, just because we're talking about the canvas, so there'll be a second tier canvas next Tuesday. When we have cross county jurisdictions like Union School. Today, each individual county is certifying their county results. And then next Tuesday, we'll have to come together to certify Union schools, Dumfrieden schools, and Hawkeye schools. And then for the December 2nd election, just on your radar, that canvas is required to be done 2 days after the election, so Thursday the 4th.
Thursday the
That'd be a
4th.
special meeting then for us.
I'm guessing, I don't know, I don't have anything else planned, but it won't. That'll be, like I said, less precinct, less races, so probably take us all of 20 minutes probably to do, but yeah, just wanted to note that is not a regular board meeting date.
Karen, quick stat question for you. What was the average
Like
age?
you want me to provide to you?
Yes, off the top of your head.
Okay.
What was the average age of the precinct full volunteers?
You know, it's actually gotten, it's,
Yeah.
it's gotten younger.
Really?
One of the good things that came out of COVID, there was actually a few good things that came out of COVID for election related, but we got a lot of new people
Yeah.
during COVID because a lot of people just stepped up to the plate to let our older folks stay home.
I need a pin.
And we've been able to, just don't steal it. We've been able to retain a good number of them.
Really?
Yeah. So I don't have that stat off the top of my head, but it used to be like all of our poll workers were in their 70s.
Yeah.
But that's gone down quite a bit. The other, just both Josh and I are kind of election data nerds. And moving to this new electronic poll book, we were able to get a lot of really awesome data on the, that's what I thought you were gonna ask me.
These are
We're able to get the data on demographics, so we can tell you the age ranges.
Yeah.
I don't know, Josh, you've been so busy preparing for the canvas, I don't know how much you've looked at some of the voter stats yet,
Honestly, not a lot.
but our new poll book program tracks all that, so it's pretty cool.
Is that stuff that candidates and campaigns will be able to purchase?
The other really neat thing as we were watching, so moving to the electronic poll book program for us, we had eyes and ears out at the sites, which we didn't have before, so we could also see like how many voters were processed per hour. And so we could see like when the downtimes were during the day. We were able to see how many voters per precinct, the demographics of how many of the voters on that precinct. We could see our ballot inventory. It was awesome to be able to have eyes and ears when just a couple years ago, we were administering elections really blind on election day because we were all offline.
No, I remember back in the day before, even before I was in office, going around,
And
take
picking
a
up
look
the
at,
sheet.
take a look at tracking for campaigns, like tracking for Obama, like seeing how many people voted this precinct.
So that is also something that's,
It's already.
I think awesome for candidates. Instead of going to each location, they can just come to the courthouse and we can print them that list.
That's awesome.
Yeah. But like for LaPorte City, we realized because we were able to see their ballot inventory in real time, we were able to realize like, I don't know, what would you say, probably 10 or 11 in the morning that we were gonna run out of ballots, so we got them ballots way ahead of time. And I think we printed them an extra 200 and they went through almost all of them.
Wow.
So being able to have access and seeing that, otherwise, if we rely on the precincts, they usually call us when we have about 10 ballots left.
I will add to that, it gets kind of difficult when the phones are down, where they're trying to call us and they say they need more ballots, so having the ability to kind of track that on our end and not rely on them to contact us, is helpful as well.
Yeah, overall, the day went really well, except for those phones going down, which was not ideal. I mean, I had a couple people say that they can get you phones tomorrow. I'm like, well, we can't do this over tomorrow.
Do you think maybe we should have a couple dedicated phone calls as like another backup, like?
Well, I already told Al, and he is gonna bump us up. I said, we need to move over before,
Yeah.
like, knowing what I know now, you know, when you know better, you do better. I'm like, we gotta move and not have this happen.
Yeah.
But I did appreciate your, I think it was you, Chris, about what's the backup to that backup.
Yeah, no, I think we need to get Waterloo Fiber into here and have, I'm pretty sure that at one point we had Mediacom as a backup internet supplier when Kim was here.
I believe that's accurate, if I remember right.
So I've already had Al over there with Waterloo Fiber, looking at all the facilities.
But whoever that, like, I understand it was nobody could do anything about it internally in the courthouse, I get that. But that if it was the same contractor, it happened on Friday before election day and election day.
Yeah.
Like, a lot of people ask me, and because I don't know the answer to this, but if there's any ramifications for them, is there a fine, is there?
Depending on who's the one cutting it, if it was for Waterloo Fiber, which is very possible if it was around here, because they're doing drilling right now in the downtown area.
Oh, so that's probably exactly what it was. So do you think it was the same
I don't know, I'll find out
project
next
Friday
week.
and Tuesday?
We got board meeting next Wednesday, I'll find out then.
So the good and the bad, being that it happened on Friday, it gave us the opportunity to develop a plan of action of what we would do if this were to happen on election day. Unfortunately, it did happen, but we, did the best we could.
Yeah, Josh was the one that got that other Google one, so kudos to Josh. And because that line, all those calls, went straight to his personal cell phone. But he handled it like a champ.
It didn't bring up the hook as much as I thought it would, but just trying to, get an avenue for people to get through, so.
But the media was great about picking it up and putting it out there. We had it on our website, on social media, so I mean, I think we did the best we could given the circumstance, but I definitely that was my biggest fear on Friday. I'm like, just have that gut feeling.
I'd be interested to know where the line got cut, because we've had,
Yeah, I
we
think
got
you guys were out too.
over $1 million worth of stuff cut from CenturyLink stuff under the Falls Avenue Bridge from these tweakers. Who keep going down and they're cutting and they're using a come along, they're pulling the crap out of the pipes. And so I think they've had at least $1 million worth of stuff taken over the last year and a half. And so just the other day, they did it again. But yeah, once that they can time when that, they can figure out when that outage goes out, and then they can, pretty much we can figure out when exactly the incision was made.
So do you think Windstream they would be able to know exactly what fiber line, right? No?
No, there is a way of pinpointing it. But I'm not sure Windstream's got their antennas where they can check like you do with fiber.
Can't they send like a signal out, and then where it doesn't pick it up on that end, that kind of narrows it down?
So, Mr. Delavue's complained about the little antenna sticking up in his yard. That's what those are for, so you can pick up where signals are lost. And I'm not sure if Windstream has those in their process for their fiber.
So who ends up buying all the treats and stuff for the poll workers?
The poll worker, I mean, that is a big part of them getting ready for election day, figuring out who's bringing what for their potluck.
So then they gotta end up doing that themselves too? Oh, that sucks.
I don't,
All right, I've
we
signed
cannot
these.
provide them food.
Cannot?
Cannot.
There's
But-
pretty strict state limitations on.
Yeah.
Well, but who's we?
The county.
Unless I didn't.
Like, we can't use county funds in our election budget to provide
Right.
them.
When it goes up, I didn't know which ones.
Could I buy my local
You
ones?
personally.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's, some locations that do get food delivered, or the location will provide like donuts and coffee in the morning, but there's some restaurants that will do like a few in their neighborhood. I just usually don't talk about that in
Yeah.
general,
Yeah.
because then they all wanna work in those places.
Right.
Yeah, I would
But yeah,
say,
anybody can like provide them coffee, donuts.
some of our locations are accommodating where they'll, make coffee and bring in donuts for the workers that are working at. Typically, it's at churches and things, but not everyone does that, and nor is that a requirement.
But when I've been out visiting, they're eating well. They take that potluck thing seriously. But my only concern is they don't overload the circuit.
Too many crock pots.
That's
Yeah.
exactly that.
They, are they there the entire?
We don't do, we already it already takes us 3 weeks to train them.
Yeah.
And so that would be another 6. And then it's like, how do you
Oh, yeah.
How do you do that shift? Yeah, because we already, just for this smaller election was 250, so then hiring 500 and training them in the logistics.
So do you have like an extra person, do folks get breaks, how do?
Yeah, so just, the chairperson will determine that. So they just will rotate out, so that everybody can take a break and eat, go to the bathroom, whatever. Yeah. We thankfully have not had a problem filling all the spots. And from other counties who have offered half shifts, are like, don't do it unless you absolutely have to, because nobody will go back to working full days, which I get. I just can't imagine that our size of county, the logistics of doing split shifts and having to hire double the people for presidentials, we're already hiring 400.
Well, so then vote centers, any of that stuff, I mean, I know, I think I saw a couple of Waterloo precincts have 2 precincts per location.
Yeah, so for this next election in December, we are doing vote centers.
Okay.
So meaning anybody can go anywhere.
Okay.
So we have 10 locations in Waterloo, and so any Waterloo resident can choose any one of those 10.
Got it.
And again, because we are all connected now through our new electronic poll book, like if they try to go to more than one, it will flag them at all the locations that they already
Well,
voted.
that excludes Ward 1.
No, we're gonna have that both ballots available everywhere, that's a good question. And we're also sending a postcard to all residents, eligible residents with the list.
With the list.
And then we'll do an
So
election
not just
notice.
not just folks who
Just
voted,
voted? No.
it'll be any currently registered.
Yeah, I can't justify that.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Which, I almost can guarantee, I bet you'll see people that voted in December that did not vote
Yeah.
in November, but that's fine.
Sure.
We
Yeah.
can adjourn anytime, right?
We have not adjourned yet.
No, we have, that's what I said, yeah,
Yeah.
we have, well, we can.
I mean, I think so. I mean, I could keep
'Cause you
talking
can-
about elections all day.
Well, no, I
if
mean,
you-
we can keep signing after is what I meant, we've done, no, I know, not to cut you off, I just meant we can adjourn, Carol's sitting in there.
Oh, did she wanna go?
No, she didn't say a thing about it,
Just
I no, that's why she doesn't mind it, I just said like, oh, we have an adjourned meeting.
I was probably
She said,
fine until somebody started warming up lunch.
Oh, yeah, and the door's
Uh-huh, it's hitting
Yeah,
me,
yeah,
so,
so you wanna stay longer and smile, go ahead.
no, I think I think I heard your motion.
So moved, yeah, you did.
All in favor of adjourning, say aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Now you can go eat.
Yeah.